Good afternoon, everyone, to our last session for the day. And my name is Dawn Muir. I'm Vice President of the Manitoba ORF chapter. So, on behalf of MOC and MMEA, welcome to this great session. So, just a few things to remind you that your cameras and mics are off, as you'll know if you're on other sessions today. Feel free to use the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat, and I'll bring to Matthew's attention any questions that keep popping up, and he will also be having some question and answer sessions. So he'll be answering some of those questions directly as well a little bit later on. And a reminder too that this session will be recorded for later viewing, so you can go back and take a look at what we've covered today too. So I'd like to introduce Matthew Stensrud. And Matthew is an award-winning ORF Schulwerf certified educator and currently teaches pre-kindergarten to grade 4 music and movement at Sidwell Friends Lower School in Washington, D.C. He received his Master of Music Education from George Mason University and Bachelor of Music Education from the University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music. It's an ORF Schulwerk approved teacher educator. He is an ORF Schulwerk approved teacher educator of movement and teaches movement levels in South Carolina and Oregon. Matthew is also on the ORF Echo editorial board and was a key content contributor to the book Responsive Classroom for Music, Art, PE, and Other Special Areas. And I'll let Matthew tell you how you can reach him a little bit later. But for now, please welcome Matthew.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It is wonderful to see you virtually and spend the next hour dancing with you. So I sure hope you have, your athletic clothes on perhaps, and a little bit of space to move, because that is all of what we will be doing today. Thank you for that amazing introduction. And yes, I will definitely share lots of ways that you can stay in touch with me, but you'll notice in the bottom corner, you can reach me on Facebook and Instagram at Mr. S. Orf. So if you want to share stories or pictures from today's session, you absolutely should, and I will respond to you right away. What if we could start with a mindful moment together? My palms are facing up toward the sky, inhaling through our nose, exhaling through our mouth. Let's try that. And placing one hand on your heart. Repeat after me. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be kind. Placing a second hand, thinking about someone you love close to you. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. May you be kind. Now thinking about all the people of the world, people you don't know. May you all be happy. Stretching your arms out, may you all be safe. May you all be peaceful. May you all be kind. Palms up to the sky. Feeling the tension here. And release. Welcome, everyone. It is wonderful to spend the next hour with you. And it means a lot that you are taking this time as teachers to grow and connect with one another and learn how you can be an amazing, impactful, powerful music teacher for your students, because they need us now more than ever. So thank you for taking the time to explore and dance. If you could take a moment and read this message, I'll read it, and if maybe you could speak it aloud with me, just like we would in the classroom. Good afternoon, friends. Today, we are going to explore creative movement and folk dance activities and see how they can be modified for the classroom, for distance learning, for social distancing, and more. Dancing from a distance can be wonderfully powerful for our students. Now, let's get moving. Love, Matthew. Each class that I share with my students begins with active music making, much like we just did, and then a message, much like this, maybe a little bit shorter, that maybe has a query or a connection to the learning that we're exploring. And those routines really help settle students, whether virtually or in person, from a teacher's classroom that may not be yours, or whether you're teaching in the music room, and really brings them to a place of intentful music learning. And I find that those routines make a big difference with our students. So with that, we should probably get moving. I wonder if you can do what I do. There we go. Oh, did you stand up? Well, my kindergartners love that, so you're telling me you don't love that? Okay, well, we're adults, that's okay, so I suppose we can continue onward anyway. Then I wonder if you could take a little walk with me. Yum ticka dun, yum ticka dun, yum ticka dun dun dun, yum ticka dun, yum ticka dun, yum ticka dun dun dun. Ba ba ba, shh, ba ba ba, shh, ba ba ba, shh, ba ba ba, shh. Yum ticka dun, yum ticka dun, yum ticka dun dun dun, ticka dun, yum ticka dun dun ticka dun, ya da da, shh, ya da da, shh, ya da da, shh, ya da da, shh. Oh, as we're taking this walk, I noticed this really tall tower with a bell at the tippy tip top. And there's a rope. Oh, do you see the rope? Okay. What if we could just, I want to ring that bell. No, I guess really, I didn't expect it to be this. No. Oh, there's another one over here. Phew, my goodness. It takes a lot of strength to ring that bell. Oh, there's a bell right here forward in front of us. Can we try that? Yeah. Phew. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Let's take a little walk again. Watch it change. Oh, bum bum bum. Ticka dum dum dum. Dum dum ticka dum dum dum. Ticka dum dum dum. Ticka dum dum dum. Yeah. Oh gosh. What? Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Actually, I think I think we're ready for our song. Ooh, let's give it a try. Ooh. Can you take a walk with me? Don't forget these. Oh, there's our bell. Oh, another one. Let's go. Can you get really close? Oh, hello. How are you? You doing well? Oh. Oh, over here. Phew. Are you still dancing with me? I bet you, come on. If you're not, let's go. We've got things to do. There's a lot of bells left to ring. Let's get our work going. Oh, actually, I have something else I want to show you. Well, look at this. This could help us out too. Let's try it out. Phew. I sure hope you were dancing with me, not just sitting there looking at me like a TV show, friends. But if you weren't, that's okay too. I know it's the end of your day. But if we were in kindergarten together, you would absolutely be moving with me. And yes, there are so many ways we can do this dance, including with a scarf. So notice the modifications I made to add something like a prop to our dancing and our movement, because a prop is a really, really powerful tool. And I noticed the questions that you were asking. So let's talk a little bit about those too, yeah? 7 jumps. Yes. If you were saying, gosh, I know that song. I wonder where I heard it before. The song is called 7 Jumps. The version I love to use is from the Shenanigans, but you can find plenty of versions of 7 Jumps in Spotify or Apple Music. There's one in the McGraw-Hill textbook. There's lots of places where you can find this song. What a great dance. Usually performed in a circle dance, but here were 2 ways that we could explore it dancing from a distance, right? How did I, as a teacher, add the steps in a scaffolded fashion without using words? How can we do the dance not in a circle, but moving in place, right? Reaction activities with the self. So instead of clapping with partners or instead of walking in a circle, I could use this idea of ringing a bell for tension and release to get a lot of the same aspects of what would be important in the classroom, but do it without touching other friends or do it on Zoom when we're by ourselves. And that's really what we'll be exploring a lot of today, right? So these notes, these slides are going to be absolutely something that you can take away. So if I'm not 100% sure, I've never used this particular platform before, if they're not available for you, I will definitely make sure that they get sent out to you so you can have them, because these slides are for you to take. Here are some essentials to consider over our next 45 minutes together. Could you read the first one? The second one is speak your truth. Could you read the third one? And the fourth one is stay out of the swamps. I find it's really important as adults when we come together to think about these essentials or norms to recognize as we come into a space like this, right? You're choosing to be here. But each of us come from different places and different experiences, and it's important to recognize that. And for the last two, sometimes it can be a little daunting to stay out of the sticky situations that bog us down. Or it can be easy to say, yeah, but that doesn't work for me. I can't do that. But what if you could instead say, yeah, and just like we encourage our students to do it when working in small groups. So take a moment, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds to share out in the chat which one is speaking to you the most today. All you have to do is type it out. Which one is calling to you, whether it's a question because you're not sure about it, whether it's hard for you because that's a challenging one, or one that you're just feeling really confident about today. Take a moment and put that in the chat. It's a good one to work on, Amanda, right? That's a hard one. And with all of these changes to our lives as teachers, that one really sticks out to me a lot too. I also know that feeling, Rebecca. Sometimes I put these things on, I put on like a PD, and then I'm like going to cook dinner or something. I have to remind myself, actually I need to dedicate this time for myself for a moment. That's okay to do. Here are two grounding questions for us to consider, and you might want to answer both of them in the chat, or you might just want to answer one. The first is, what is a hope and dream for our time together? And the second is, what is a challenge on your mind as you think about movement in your virtual or socially distanced classrooms? I'm glad to hear, Liz, that you're making some progress today. It's Friday, right? The weekend is tomorrow. Hopefully you have some time for yourself. I understand that I can connect with you that this has been a tough week. And aside from teaching music, because I also spent like 4 hours trying to install these light switches in my house, and I'm not an electrician, so to think that was a pleasant experience, it was not. It was not at all. So I know those feelings if we think like, gosh, I'm in the swamps. I feel that way too. So as you continue to share hopes and dreams or challenges that are on your mind right now, I'm going to come back and keep checking into that chat. So hopefully you're noticing that I try to react to those as quickly as possible. And know that as you type them in, I'll come back to them. A little bit about me. I'm in my 11th year teaching. I'm not a professional dancer. Movement came to me late in life, but it just shows the power that each of us are movers. Each of us are dancers, just like our students, and we need to remember that. Orff Schulwerk is absolutely my passion, if you haven't figured that out as well. And it's what really drives me in my life. A good reminder, though, is that dance can be just as creative and improvisatory and compositional based, right? Just like music. And oftentimes we think as musicians that dance is a little more too abstract for us to do those things with. So instead, I'm just going to teach it like I see it in the book, That's what I feel comfortable with. But if we want our students to take risks, that means we have to take risks too. We are those role models that show what what it looks like to sometimes not be successful, or to sometimes do something that makes them feel uneasy. Our students will do that when we show them the way. But I also love dancing. So when my students leave, I just dance around my room. So if you spend some time and you're in the swamps one day and you go home and put on your favorite artist and you just dance, that's okay. I would suggest it. And finally, each lesson I teach changes, right? The feedback that we get from our students means the lesson plan that we write down is never, ever given like it's written. And if you are, then you're really not actually receiving and using the feedback from your students for the best. So I tell myself, I don't teach this lesson ever the same. This workshop is not the same as I've ever done it before, because what you share in the chat is going to impact our time together. Just like what your students give you as answers, or their energy level that they show you changes the way you present a lesson. And I think too oftentimes, especially as teachers leave university, they say to themselves, this is my lesson plan. I must teach it exactly like this. I must script it exactly like this and use that language every time. And it can be hard to get away from that. But actually, when you don't follow it, it means that you're following something here, and something here that's being guided by your students. And how exciting is that? Take a moment to read this quote to yourself. I find this quote really, really impactful as I think about what it means for our students, right? And how we present material and let it grow from our students. It's theirs, right? It's not mine. Okay, well, name that dance. Well, okay, we can try that out. We have a lot of different dances that we are going to explore. And that is going to be a fun adventure for us. And I'm wondering, as we do each one, perhaps you might know the song. And if you do, you can just pop it into the chat. And that would be pretty exciting, and see maybe who might know it. Yeah? So we should probably try some of those things out together, right? Now. Okay, sure. Not a surprise here. Actually, I wonder if you can watch my feet. Take a look at these feet for just a moment. Ooh, okay. Ooh. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Actually, I wonder, can we try something else too? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Let's actually, I wonder if we could try this. Yeah. Let's take a walk a little bit closer. Are you getting closer to your webcam? Oh, that's really close. Hello. Okay. Maybe we go back. We don't have much time, so as much fun as it would be to process all of this out, I'm wondering if we can just get the show on the road and see if you can guess the dance. Here we go. this way. Yeah? Okay. Hello. Oh, I'm back. Oh, good to see you again. Oh my gosh. Actually, I have to go all the way to the kitchen. Can you make it to the kitchen and back? See you later. Oh gosh. Phew. That was a close one. Okay, bye. Oh, actually this way. Actually this way. Nope, over here. Come on, you can go faster. Even faster. High knees. Oh, well, you better be breaking a sweat now, because I certainly am. And yes, if you said, Karen said hurry, scurry, and Edward said yes, skern, which are the same. And you are correct. So, awesome going. Interesting, though. Maraspa is close, isn't it? A very similar kind of belecking kind of step. Oh, phew. Oh, my goodness. Fieskern, the steps I found are from teaching movement in dance, right? And if I do this with my students, the next aspect I would start to explore with them are options for creativity. So instead of walking forward and back, what could we do? Instead of walking side by side, what could we do? Maybe you make a pattern, right? Step, step, jump, jump, jump. That would be another pattern to do. Maybe go to the kitchen and back. When I teach my students on Zoom, they love to go to different rooms. And I was like, actually, let's see if we can all run outside. And they all try to run outside of their house and make it back in time. And that's really fun too. And it's great for internalizing phrase length. If we give them chances and opportunities to use that 32 beats to leave and come back in time by the end of the phrase, even if they don't have AirPods or versions in it, means that they're leaving and they're thinking the song in their head, that audiation, right? So that when they come back, they kind of know when that phrase is. And how powerful is that? And it's such a playful way to do it, right? In such a really exciting, student-centered way to explore that audiation within a dance. Oh, and yes, it can be done just like this, and is safe for our students to do at a desk. It's safe for them to do on Zoom in a lot of different ways. And when I'm thinking about these dances, one of the biggest considerations is just that you follow the same kind of format that the dance is. The dance is an A-B form. The B section, I can mostly do the same. I don't have to switch places with my partner, but I can do the blocking steps and a clap, right? And then the A section is just walking, 16 beats one way, 16 beats the other way. Okay, let's try that forward and backwards, but actually let's just do it 8 and 8 maybe, and let's do it side by side, and we can make different patterns, and we can leave the room and come back. So many different pathways, right? And that's also great when you use the screen, and you'll see other ways that we use the screen to our benefit. What's on screen and what's off screen for our students can be really powerful as well. Oh, well, if you think that we're taking a break, the answer would be no, we're not. And you can see I'm already listening. Okay, phew. I'm wondering, actually, have you ever been to a farm before? I was actually at a farm a few days ago, and I got to do a lot of different things. You know, there were some horses there, and they needed some hay, so I had to Oh, I had to scoop the hay. I had to wake up really early to do that. And then there were some chickens that had laid eggs, so I had to pick the eggs and put them in the basket. Pick and basket, pick and basket, pick and basket, pick and basket. Scoop the hay, scoop the hay, scoop the hay, scoop the hay. What else can we do on a farm? Does maybe anyone want to put things in the chat? Like if you were last time you were at a farm, or when you think about a farm, what are maybe other things that we could be doing when we're there? Oh gosh, there are cows. Maybe we do something with the cows. Oh, I don't know. Or maybe what are other possible things? Or there's goats maybe. I don't know. Once you're typing ideas in the chat. Oh, I'm looking at the barn. It kind of needs to be repainted. Can we try to repaint the barn? Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Oh, Amanda says we got to go on a trail ride. Oh my goodness! But we just rode the horse, and Shannon's right. We have to brush the horse. It would be rude of us not to after we just spent all that time riding, right? Oh, Charlotte said milk the cows. We dig the potatoes. I'm seeing what Ruth writes. Ruth, that is a lovely idea. I'm probably not going to try to shoot the pig in my classroom with my first graders, but I love your enthusiasm. We got to gather all the eggs. Feed the chickens. So many things to do. Okay, well, we got to get going, friends. We got a lot of work to do on this farm. So let's go with me, yeah? Let's go. Gotta walk to the barn. We're almost there. Got a lot of things to do this morning. Come on, get the show on the road. Let's scoop the hay. Marla, so we got to gather all the eggs. What I think Charlotte said milk the cows. Maybe it's the local. Oh, get her horse. Let's go for a ride. Ooh, this is so much fun. How far can you ride? I'll see you later. Yeehaw! Woohoo! Phew. Oh, okay. We should ride rush our horse. It would be the nice thing to do. What else can we do? Oh my gosh, we gotta paint the barn. I totally forgot. Oh, feed the chickens, I heard. Is that a storm? It's coming up. Oh, it's getting closer. We gotta go inside. Send the door. Oh, goodness. Well, I think we got all that work done in the barn today, but that was certainly something. Oh, my goodness. Oh. So, anyone know what dance that was? If you thought about the music, I haven't heard it come up yet, but we were having so much fun on the farm, you might not have even noticed. Oh. If you thought, oh, it's that heel and toe polka from New England Dancing Masters, then you're correct. And it was renamed the Barnyard Boogie. And I have to say, I first got this idea sparked in me by Chris Olson, who is an amazing movement teacher in Lubbock, Texas. So I have to give a big shout out to her. If you don't know her, or have ever seen her give workshops before, she's absolutely amazing. And she talked about how you could use a song like this and turn it into this barnyard scene. And then I thought to myself, well, actually, what if the students created the ideas that were part of that dance, right? So much can be done with that. So all you had to do in the chat was share out. Oh, it's also this old man. That's true. The same melody, right? Share out these ideas of what you might do if you're on a farm. And it's a story that comes together. And I think that can be really powerful. So I never say, okay, today we're going to do a dance. And this dance is called the heel and toe polka. So follow me. First, we go in for 4. That does not give our first graders excited. But the idea of saying, I was on a farm this weekend. Have you ever been to a farm before? I got to do a lot of things. What kind of things can we do on a farm? And you tell this story that comes to life and has the sound effects help create these pulse patterns, right? Both in macro and micro beats that can be really helpful. That's essential for the students. And sometimes we do the same activity with a macro beat and a micro beat and exploring those variations. And then I saw some questions in the chat. Usually if I do this with my first graders, they're going to unmute themselves. We have a procedure where they raise their hand on Zoom if they want to share, and then they unmute themselves and they'll share their idea. And I'll say, what does that look like? Oh, you feed the chickens? How do you feed the chickens? What does that look like when you do it? And then they'll say, well, it kind of look like you pick up the feed from here and you put it out and you throw it out. And then we practice that together, right? Of course, you could have your own. It's always good to have some in your back pocket. Okay, I think I can be ready to do these things. Or you just go with it, right? Except when Ruth says you shoot the pig. Maybe you don't go with that if a kid says that. You say, oh, well, that's really interesting. Thanks so much for sharing that. I wonder if there's other ideas. Okay. But it does keep you on your toes, which means you never teach the lesson the same, which means this dance is never the same, right? I've never done this dance the same way before, which I think is really cool to think about because you're getting the ideas from the students to make the dance. And Amanda, a point about that is as music teachers, I think we too often forget about this idea of a second question. And there's a lot of research that shows how much our students dig deeper and we get more information from them, and they're really encouraged to really think out what their process is in here if we ask a second question. So, for example, if I ask a general question, then my second question is, what makes you say that? Or why did you say that? So you play something, maybe you're playing a major scale, and I'm like, I wonder, did that, or you're talking about major and minor, and you're like, does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? And so they say it makes you feel sad. And you go, okay, great. Yeah, minor, sad. Okay, you move on. Okay, super. Then the students make that one connection, a lower level thinking skill, and you move on. But you could also say like, oh, what made you say that? Oh, there was some, and then they really start to really think a little bit more, which gives you a lot of insight into what our students are thinking and helps us be better teachers too. Phew. Okay. Well, I can't believe we only have 20 minutes left and we still have another dance. We have so many things to do after that. So we better get going. Because we have another one for you to figure out. The last one. Maybe you know this one. See if you can come with me. Boom, 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 ba, 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 boom, 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 ba, 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 boom, 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 ba, 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 boom, 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 ba, ba, ba. Actually, oh gosh, there's something about this. Pat, pat, clap, clap, clap. It's okay, right? But what if we could think of something different? Okay. So maybe what if we keep the pats the same? We'll keep the pats, boom, boom, and then we do something else. Maybe this, ba, 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 boom, boom, or this, ba, 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 boom, boom, or this, ba, ba, ba. There's so many choices. Can you pick a choice now and share it in the chat? Put it in the chat right now. And with my students on Zoom, while you're typing this in the chat, because I really need your ideas to do this dance, then I would have them show me in gallery view. We would be in a gallery view, and I would say, what if you come up with your own way? Can you show us right now? Boom, boom, make your choice. Boom, boom, show us what you did. Boom, right? And then they're showing, and I say, oh, I notice Isabel is doing this. Boom, boom, boom. Let's try that, right? And then you're using that idea that the students are giving you. We'll blink our eyes. Let's try it. Boom, boom, ba, ba, ba. Or tap your head like Maureen said. Boom, boom, ba, ba, ba. Lots of choices. Oh, shrug your shoulders. Boom, boom, ba, ba, ba. Or snap your fingers. Boom, boom, ba, ba, ba. I wonder. Ooh, windshield. Oh my gosh, so many good ideas. Windshield wipers with the hands. I love that. Boom, boom, ba, ba, ba. Okay, so what if we try Charlotte's idea when we're really close? Hello, I'm really close. And then we can try Ruth's idea when we're going further back. Okay, let's try it up close. Boom, boom, ba, ba, ba. Boom, 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 ba, ba. What? I already forgot. It was snap your fingers. Ba, ba, ba. Boom, 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 boom. Yan tika tan tika tan tika tan tika ba, ba, ba. This time I will remember. Doom, 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 doom. Da, da, tika da, da, da. Oh, okay. So we have something in the front and something in the back. We could try that out. And if you want to make some of your own choices, you could do that too. But what if, I don't know. This is good and this is pretty good. But what if you could do 3 different things? Like this, boom, boom, da, da, da. Oh, so I have the shoulders and the head and the snap. And that gets to a lot of different ideas that we had here, right? Kelsey's and Marine's and Ruth's. Doom, da, da. That's pretty cool. Doom, 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 doom. Let's try it out. Dun, tika, dun, tika, dun, tika, dun, tika, da, da, da. Let's go backwards. Doom, 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 doom. But I think maybe I'll do the windshield wipers back here. Hey, da, da. Doom, 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 doom. Hey, dun, tika, dun, tika, dun, tika, dun, tika, ba, ba, ba. Okay, so what if this part when you're close, we keep it as the pats and shoulder, head, and snaps. And then when you go backwards, you get to choose. Oh, that could work out pretty well. Okay, let's try it. I bet we can have fun with that. Ooh, that actually kind of sounds like what we've been doing, but maybe a little bit faster. That could be exciting. Let's take a walk. Do you remember what we're doing? I barely remember. Back here, I can choose my own thing. Actually, let's take a skip. Let's go. Oh, maybe the other way. That's kind of nice. Let's take a walk. See you later. And Linda, congratulations. You are 100% right. It was Carnivalito. And here you got to see that student creation come to life, right? That A section, I've never done it that way before. But what you shared impacted the dance. And it was really exciting to see that come to life. And you know what that means? It means you might make a mistake like I did. And how exciting is that for the students? Because they think to themselves, oh gosh, my music teacher always does things perfectly and I'm always struggling a bit. And instead, actually, they see, Mr. S, when he's working through a dance, he doesn't always know it exactly right the first time too. So it's okay for us to have that when they're working in small groups. And the reason I talk out a lot of my thinking is because then when you see students working in small groups, when we're back in person without having any sort of social distancing and whatnot, you'll notice that the students are going to use the same language you did. So if you don't use any language and you process the dance as counting in 1, 2, 3, 4, not 1, 2, 3, 4, then they're going to be counting it because you're the role model. If you use sound effects, they'll use sound effects. That's totally changed my 4th and 5th graders. When they use those fun sound effects, they're creating things and they're like, choom, chicka, choom, chicka, bing, bing, bing. And that's what they're creating. How exciting is that? That they're using those sounds to teach each other things and remember things. And when I say, what if? Then in small groups, they say, well, what if we try this? And because they've heard me say it, and they've heard me say, yes, okay, and they've also heard me say I try things, and I go, well, what if we make this change? I don't know about that quite yet. They see all of those processes happen in the way you present it, so then they know that that's normal for them to go through those things as well. How else can we expect them to create in small groups if we never show them that down and dirty creating process with language and tools to be successful? And Linda was right. And boy, I'm definitely listening now. So that's exciting. This was Carnivalito, an amazing, amazing dance, right? We had fun figuring out that first section, but then the B section, I never told you, okay, we're going to skip in a circle. Once they see me do that, trust me, my 2nd and 3rd graders know how to skip in a circle and they love it. And again, you could go off screen. And that's a lot of the similar A-B portions, right? So many dances are in very simple forms like that. And you have a part that's structured and you have a part that's let students kind of create and see what happens. And that's really exciting. Oh, we only have 10 minutes left, so we're going to have to be bypassing a few of these things. But I do want to at least show you this idea of a chance dance. If you've never used these kinds of movement words in your classroom, then you should absolutely add them in. Because we don't have not just locomotor and non-locomotor words, but also stopping words, words that are going to have an end to them. And I think sometimes we forget about those words, but those are really powerful too. So of course we should be doing reaction games where you're playing a hand drum. Hello, hand drum. And the students start and stop. And you make different patterns and different phrase lengths and different meters and different tempi and all of those things to have students explore. And then it becomes a sentence. Well, what if you could choose one to do here and then one to do here? And we go back and forth. Okay, we have A, B. Well, what if you could choose the first one and the second one and the third one and go back to the first one? You have A, B, C, A. What if you do the first one and then the second one back to the first one? You have A, B, A. So it's all these little forms you create, just like you do in music with movement. And then you have a chance dance. And I love this dance and I wish we could do it right now, but instead I'm just going to give you some tools to do it. And it works really well in any sort of scenario because the students do it on themselves, by themselves. You've given them these tools, shapes, locomotor, non-locomotor, movement words. They write down 1 to 6 on their paper and they number them. So number 1, skip. 2, pose. 3, perch. 4, flick, etc. Then you roll the dice. Oops, I guess I don't have any more slides. Then you roll the dice and you make an order or a pattern for them to then share. And that's really kind of a fun way. And I've never seen my 5th graders more excited about a dance than in something like this, because it was like they got to roll the die and then, oh, okay, this is what it is. The die told me what it's going to be. And it's really kind of exciting and spontaneous for them to then try to share this dance that they kind of made, but they weren't sure what the choices. It was left up to chance. And I've done that on Zoom. I've done it through Seesaw. I've done it through Google Classroom, all of these different ways. And it's been really exciting for them to simply share some movement ideas in that way. Okie dokes. Using a story. So as we begin to wrap up today, think about the power of stories in our classroom. You ever seen this story before? Ooh, maybe you can hear that. My heart fills with happiness. Can you sing with me? My heart fills with happiness. Let's have our palms to the sky while we sing. My heart fills with happiness. Can your hands follow me? When I see the face, are your hands still following me? Of someone I love. My heart fills with happiness when I smell bannock baking in the oven. My heart fills with happiness when I sing. Loo, 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 loo. My heart fills with happiness when I feel the sun dancing on my cheeks. My heart fills with happiness when I walk barefoot on the grass. My heart fills with happiness when I dance. My heart fills with happiness when I hold the hand of someone I love. My heart fills with happiness when I listen to stories. My heart fills with happiness when I drum. What fills your heart with happiness? What does fill your heart with happiness? Could you think about a way to share the rest of this sentence and create something with your hands to show it? I'll give you 10 seconds right now. Okay, should we try it together? My heart fills with happiness when Oh, those were beautiful. Thanks for sharing those with us. And how special would it be if our students could share them and get a little bit of it, they learn a little bit about themselves? Because you know what happens sometimes? A student says, "My heart fills with happiness when I play the cello." And I had a third grader do that. And you know what happened in the class? There was another class. "Oh my gosh, I play the cello too." They'd known each other for years, but they'd never talked about that. And then I asked the second question, "Oh, well, tell me a little bit about the cello." And then they want to talk about, how long they've been playing it, what songs they do. And that connection that you make with your students, how exciting is that? And they feel more connected with music. They feel more connected with you. The class feels connected with them when you've given them that chance to do a little bit and share a little bit about themselves. And then maybe it was the first time they were asked a question that day. Maybe it was the first time they got to say something about who they are. And you can give that beautiful moment to your students. Unfortunately, we don't have time to explore with props today, so we'll save it for another time. We don't have time for a final dance party either, do we? But I'm going to put on 30 seconds of it, and you're just going to get up and dance with me, and then we're going to be done. So we got a lot of things to do then. Okay. Here we go. There we go. It's okay, getting good, like I should. When in trouble, walk around the neighborhood, feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Getting good, like I should. When in trouble, walk around the neighborhood, feeling blessed. Never stress. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Such a fun dance. You can learn more about that dance if you want to follow and connect with me, because that is such an amazing dance party to have with your students. Sunday Best by Surfaces. Anyway, as we wrap up today, you can stay connected with me in a lot of different ways. At Mr. S. Orff on Instagram and Facebook. I have a YouTube page where you can see full class videos of interactive lessons that I do with my students for grade levels, preschool, pre-kindergarten through grade 4. As well as I have a website, www.mrsorff.com. I have lesson plans on there. I have a newsletter you can sign up for. I do a live class with kids from across the world every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Central Time. It is a blast. This coming week, we're doing Halloween, which is going to be a lot of fun. And I know a lot of kids will be there. So if those are things that you want to find more about, then head to my website. You can head to thecampsite.bio. You can head to my Patreon page where I do other webinars and workshops too. And I would love to connect with you in all of those ways. So thank you for having me here today. It's been a blast. And I sure hope you got a little bit of a workout in too, because I sure did. So thank you.
Well, just want to give a big thank you again to Matthew for joining us today for that wonderful way to end the day with all that movement and great ideas. Some of you have asked if that PowerPoint will be available. It should have been posted in the chat there. So we're just asking our tech support to get that to you now. So that will become available once they figure out how to get that to you. So once again, thank you so much, Matthew. And for all of you who participated today, thanks for joining us and hope you had a wonderful day.